Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia and today we're continuing with our ChiBi Let's Talk Lore series. We ended last episode as Lady Wu demanded a meeting with her potential future son-in-law Liu Bei to check him out. So the next day, Liu Bei, wearing armor underneath his coat, follows Lu Fan into the temple. Zhao Yun and all 500 of their guards trailed behind, fully armed, as they are on full alert, as Elder Qiao came by last night to warn them to be careful at this meeting today. Inside the temple, Liu Bei was first greeted by Sun Quan, who was also meeting Liu Bei for the first time. Sun Quan notes that Liu Bei looks pretty good for a guy nearing his 50s and gets worried that Lady Wu might approve. And sure enough, Lady Wu took one good look at Liu Bei with his big ears and long arms and immediately approves. So Lady Wu and Elder Qiao, who was also there, throws a feast for Liu Bei as they discuss some more details about the wedding. Halfway through this feast, Zhao Yun rushes in to report to Liu Bei that they have discovered axemen scattered throughout the temple. Before Liu Bei could reply, Lady Wu asks who this handsome general is, and Liu Bei replies, "This is Zhao Yun." And Lady Wu immediately hands him a cup of wine and asks if he is the same Zhao Yun who famously saved Liu Bei's son at Changban. Liu Bei replies yes, but then immediately bows down in front of Lady Wu as he cries out, "If the purpose of this meeting is to kill me, then get on with it." Lady Wu is shocked and asks why Liu Bei is acting so strangely, and Liu Bei replies, "Zhao Yun just informed me that there are hundreds of axemen hidden throughout this temple." Lady Wu, furious once again, points at Sun Quan and demands an explanation from her son. Sun Quan sees that mother has clearly accepted Liu Bei as her future son-in-law, quickly claims that he knows nothing of this, and it must be Lu Fan who did it. Lady Wu asks Lu Fan, and Lu Fan, also quick to deny it, throws Jia Hua under the bus by saying that Jia Hua must have planned it. Lady Wu then demands for Jia Hua to be executed, but Liu Bei quickly pleads to spare him, as bloodshed would be a bad omen to the start of a wedding. Lady Wu agrees and tells Jia Hua to get out of her face, along with all the axemen. With this issue resolved, the party continues their feast. At the end of the feast, Sun Quan was showing Liu Bei out of the temple as they come across a rock in front of the temple. Seeing this rock, Liu Bei silently prays to the heaven that if he can one day safely return to the Jin province and create an empire, then allow his blade to split this rock in front of him as a sign from the heavens to affirm his prayer. Then Liu Bei pulls out his blade and swings at the rock, and the rock splits from the middle. Just as he was overjoyed from this sign from the heavens, Sun Quan asked Liu Bei if he had any issues with this particular rock as he just swung his blade at it randomly. Liu Bei quickly lies and replies, "I was just praying to the heavens to see if our alliance can one day defeat Cao Cao together and restore the Han, and the heavens responded with this sign as the rock has split." Sun Quan chuckles as he knows Liu Bei probably was lying about his prayer, so Sun Quan tells Liu Bei, "Then let me lend my prayer as well and pray for the same thing," when secretly Sun Quan silently prayed for the return of the Jin province and fortune for Wu, and Sun Quan took a swing horizontally across the rock and it split once again. Both of them laughs as they depart the temple. The next day, back at the guest house that Liu Bei was staying at, Sun Qian recommends Liu Bei to plead with Elder Qiao to hurry up the wedding, as there were many in Wu who still wishes them ill. Elder Qiao reflects Liu Bei's wishes to Lady Wu, who is now staunchly on her future son-in-law's side, as she invites Liu Bei along with Zhao Yun and their 500 guards to all stay with her in her estate, as no one would dare to touch them there. She also promises Liu Bei that the wedding would happen within the week. Sure enough, in a few days, Lady Sun and Liu Bei gets married, and a big wedding party was thrown. At the end of the night, as Liu Bei retired from the party to go to Lady Sun's room to consummate their marriage, he is shocked by the sights of weapon racks and armed maids, and for a moment he thought Lady Sun must have been in on Zhou Yu's plan to end his life. Seeing that Liu Bei is panicking, the head maid was quick to reassure Liu Bei that Lady Sun had enjoyed martial arts and warfare since a child, so all these maids are required to learn fencing to practice with the lady. Liu Bei nods but begs that they please remove all the weapons, as it's a bit off-putting on such a wedding night. Lady Sun hears this from inside the room and laughs at Liu Bei. You have been fighting all your life, but these weapons upset you. But she compromises and orders her maid to disarm themselves and remove all the weapons from the room as Liu Bei and Lady Sun consummate their marriage that night. For the next few days, the newlyweds enjoy each other's company as they live lavishly in the Sun residence. Sun Quan, on the other hand, is not in any bit of a good mood as he writes a bitter letter to Zhou Yu, who is still nursing his poison arrow wound in Chaisang, stating that his brilliant plan has now made Liu Bei Sun Quan's brother-in-law. When Zhou Yu gets the letter and learns of these developments in Nanxu, he falls off his chair as he had never expected this to happen. Soon he comes up with a backup plan and writes back to Sun Quan. Zhou Yu suggests that the best plan for them going forward, given their current situation, is for Sun Quan to keep Liu Bei here in Wu by showering him with a lavish lifestyle. Unlike Sun Quan, Liu Bei was born poor and survived by selling straw shoes for over 30-something years before he formed his own force after the Yellow Turban Rebellion. But life didn't get any better for Liu Bei as he drifted from battlefield to battlefield, often running for his life. If we can give him a lifestyle he cannot refuse, then at worst we can create some distance between him and his generals like Guan Yu and Zhang Fei, who are still guarding the Jin province. At best, he might even never want to go back himself. When Sun Quan read the letter, he also showed it to Zhang Zhao, who agrees that it seems like a great plan. So he immediately decides to begin construction on a mansion just for Liu Bei and his sister. He also gives them beautiful maids, gold, silk, and many other luxury items as he planned out their days with feasts and shows to waste their time. Lady Wu also happy as she now thinks that her son has finally come through and started to be nice to his sister and new brother-in-law. And sure enough, this plan was working beautifully, as months passed without Liu Bei ever mentioning a return to the Jin province. This trend, however, starts to worry Zhao Yun as he grows bored doing nothing here in Wu. Soon he realized it was approaching the end of the year, and that Zhuge Liang had told him to use the second secret strategy if they still had not returned by then. So Zhao Yun opens the second sealed letter and immediately runs to see Liu Bei. Liu Bei sees Zhao Yun rush in a hurry, so he asks him if anything was wrong. Zhao Yun replies, Zhuge Liang has sent a messenger this morning, stating that Cao Cao has rallied an army of 500,000 men to march down on the Jin province to extract revenge for their defeat at ChiBi, and Liu Bei is needed immediately back in the Jin province. Liu Bei agrees, but tells Zhao Yun to wait, as he needs to discuss this with Lady Sun. Zhao Yun purposely reminds Liu Bei multiple times the importance of an immediate return before finally leaving Liu Bei. After Zhao Yun has left, Liu Bei walks in to the inner room and starts to cry to Lady Sun. Lady Sun asks him what is wrong, and Liu Bei replies, I have lost both of my parents already, but I have not prayed at their graves for a long time since, as I have been drifting in this world as war has taken me everywhere. With the new year upon us, I was thinking if we could find a way to do a prayer ceremony for them somehow. Lady Sun cuts him short and tells him to not lie to her, as she has already heard his conversation with Zhao Yun. Liu Bei then explains, I'm sorry for lying. I just didn't know what to do. On one hand, I really do need to go back to the Jin province, as I cannot afford losing it to Cao Cao. But on the other hand, I don't want to leave you here. Lady Sun replies, Silly you. Of course I will be going back with you. We're already married. I'll go wherever you go. Liu Bei is delighted, but asks, What about Lady Wu? She will surely miss you and might not let you go. Lady Sun replies, I'll ask her and beg her if needed. She will surely understand. Liu Bei continues, But I'm more worried about your brother. He will definitely not let me go so easily. Lady Sun thought for a bit and said, How about this? We can wait until New Year's Day when the court meets for the holiday party. On the party, I will ask my mother that we want to take a short trip to the Yangtze River where we intend to conduct a prayer to your parents who are buried in the north. There is no way they'll refuse this. Then we can just run back to the Jin province without them ever knowing. So they agree on this plan and inform the details to Zhao Yun, as he has to prepare all their men for departure on New Year's Day as Liu Bei and Lady Sun go attend the party. On this party, Liu Bei and Lady Sun went along with the plan and things went super smoothly. After lunch, Liu Bei and Lady Sun excused themselves as they took a carriage out of the city. Once outside, they were quickly joined by Zhao Yun and their 500 guards as they raced back on foot toward the Jin province. By nightfall, people started to notice that not only Liu Bei and Lady Sun has left, but Zhao Yun and all 500 of the guards were gone as well, so it was highly likely they ran for it. So they tried to inform Sun Quan about this development, but they found Sun Quan drunk and asleep after a celebratory feast. It was not until the next morning when they were able to inform a hazy Sun Quan. Sun Quan quickly orders Chen Wu and Pan Zhang to take 500 men and give chase after them. After they left, Sun Quan's anger started to boil over as he throws a tantrum, throwing everything on his desk to the floor. Chen Pu, who was also present, quickly stops Sun Quan and warns him that Chen Wu and Pan Zhang might not be enough to bring Liu Bei back, as Lady Sun is with him. If Lady Sun decides to take Liu Bei's side, Chen Wu and Pan Zhang would not dare to do anything to her. Sun Quan thought for a bit and realized this was indeed true, as he grabs his sword, throws it to Zhou Tai and Jiang Qing, and tells them to take another 1,000 men to give chase. If Lady Sun tries to stop you, then feel free to use this sword to bring back her head as well. To find out if Liu Bei can get safely back to the Jin province with so many men after them, and with the Jin province so far away, come back tomorrow as we continue our lore series.